accueillir chaleureusement Tatiana Jaramillo Vivanco, doctorante en biologie à l'Université de Madrid. Sa présentation portera sur l'exploitation des alternatives d'élevage d'insectes comestibles dans différentes espèces de palmiers de la forêt amazonienne. We warmly welcome Tatiana Jaramillo Vivanco, a Ph.D. student in biology at the University of Madrid. Her presentation is about exploring breeding alternatives of edible insects in different species of palms of Amazonia forests. So it's your turn.
I was saying that thank you so much for having me here. It's good that I am not going to do my presentation in French, so merci beaucoup for that. So, hello everybody, greetings from Quito, Ecuador. I am Tatiana Jaramillo Vivanco. I am a biologist with a master's degree in botany from Aarhus University in Denmark. I just started my PhD in Universidad Complutense de Madrid in Spain with the support of Universidad de las Américas in Quito, Ecuador. What I'm going to study for this PhD is the biochemistry of the larva of the weevil beetle, Rhynchophorus palmarum, depending on the palms where it breeds. So this talk will be framed in the exploring of alternative breeding techniques of this edible insect in several Amazonian palms. What are the aims of this study? First, to seek for breeding alternatives of edible insects, in this case, the larva of the weevil beetle, in different species of palms present in the Amazon forest. Then, to reduce the existing pressure of some palm species, trying to eliminate the intensive breeding on a single species or a threatened species of palms. To improve life conditions on local communities, ethnic communities in the Amazon region. And last but not least, to seek for alternative sources of bioactive and nutritional compounds on the insect. So for this, where the study is going to take place, I'm going to study the ethnology of this edible insect in the Amazon region of Ecuador. Here is Ecuador to the Pacific Ocean coast, crossed by the Ecuadorian line and divided by the Andes Cordillera here. The Andean Cordillera divided the Ecuador here. The eastern region, this eastern region from the Andes is the Amazonian region in Ecuador, where is going to take place this study. We are going to sample different ethnic communities through this region. The protagonists of this study are the Rhynchophorus palmarum larva, common called as chontacuro. This is the adult, and this is the larval stage of it. It breeds naturally in rotten logged decomposing stem of palms. The species we select to this study are these three ones, Bactris gassipes, Mauritia flexuosa, and Oenocarpus batawa. The three of them have ethnobotanical uses. Two of them, these two, Oenocarpus and Mauritia flexuosa, come from natural populations where they are strongly threatened because of the use of the people. And the third is a domesticated palm, the Bactris gassipes, called chonta. All these species, the palms and the weevil beetle, are native to the Amazon region. So, how is the breeding technique of this larva, of the chontacuro? People of the communities lock down the palm and for mainly harvesting the fruits of it. They use mostly everything in the palm, the leaves, part of the stem for buildings, the apical meristem or the palm heart, and the fruits. Then they leave the lying palms there with several cuts in the stem for almost 2 months. After that, they come back to it and harvest the larvae that are feeding from the stem. The larvae make a kind of gallery, if you can see here in this picture, into the stem. They harvest them and cook them boiled or roasted, the chontacuro, as in the picture, in wooden sticks as meat sticks. So what are we going to analyze? We are going to see in both in the insect and the palm several characteristics. We're going to do bromatological studies as moisture, ash, proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, and fiber. We're going to seek for liposoluble vitamins and their precursors. We're going to do the profile of polyphenols and fatty acids, essential and non-essential amino acids, and macro and micro minerals. Moreover, we're going to research on the ethnological information of breeding methods and the ancestral use of chontacuro in different ethnic communities in the Amazonian Ecuador. So the approach of this study is to look for a sustainable food system that could provide different compounds to help people for the achievement of good health. How are we going to do that? First, producing an alternative food with chontacuro. The FAO has declared that edible insects are a great source of food. They emit much less greenhouse gases than conventional livestock, so they can function as direct or indirect food for human beings. Second, we would like to diminish the pressure in populations of palms that are in danger because of non-sustainable way to exploit them, including the breeding of the chontacuro. We're going to test if there is any difference between the breeding of this insect depending on the palm it develops. Third, developing sustainable business as biocommerce or gastronomic tourism for improving life conditions on the different Amazonian communities. So, with these evaluated solutions, how this is related with the Sustainable Development Goals? We find this research in 5 of the 17 global goals. 1, no poverty. 2, no hunger. 3, in good health and well-being. And 4, with responsible consumption and production. And 5, for the conservation of life on land. So, thank you so much for your time. Now I can listen for your, if you have any questions or ideas. Thank you for listening to this idea research and for organizing this kind of conference, very useful for beginners like me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. I will see if we have some questions. Ben Gono, you can speak.
Oui, bonsoir, bonjour à tous. Donc, je ne sais pas si vous m'entendez. Alors, c'est très intéressant le sujet qui a été développé par Tatiana. Et c'est très, très enrichissant. Et surtout, moi, je tombe un peu de nu parce que venant du Cameroun, en continent quelque chose d'équatorial, un peu aussi avec un climat humide, ainsi de suite, ben, tout ce qu'elle démontre, tout ce qu'elle elle vient de décrire là, c'est exactement ce que les populations de nos contrées font et, et vivent aussi. C'est vraiment très, très surprenant qu'on en fasse une étude et c'est encore très intéressant dans le sens où une étude détaillée comme ça peut très bien se superposer aux études qu'on peut faire aux mêmes insectes, aux mêmes calories, parce que là, vous voyez, donc quelque part, elle a scientifiquement démontrer que ces aliments qu'on utilise nous en Afrique sont les mêmes et surtout apportent les mêmes calories. Donc, franchement, je dis bravo à cette étude-là. Et surtout, j'en ferai, comment on veut dire, on peut la dupliquer, la copier, la relier. Mais toujours est-il qu'on se rend compte que ce qui est fait chez nous est aussi fait ailleurs. Donc, quelque part, en fait, on est vraiment dans un monde planétaire, quoi. C'est-à-dire que en Amérique et en Afrique, ben, c'est les mêmes réalités. C'est juste ça.
Tatiana, did you understand?
No. I'm hoping that you translated.
Well, no, basically he said that in Africa, they also have this kind of food. And he was very surprised to see that there is actually a scientific study to show that how important it is in terms of calorie and food nutrition, those kind of ingredient brings for the human being, and how we can relate to the SDGs. And you see that there is also you can see there is a mirror between South Africa, Ecuador, and Africa. And he also mentioned that this is a great there was a great study from you, and you can see that there is then your study or what happened in Africa or what happened something happened in Africa can happen in other places in the world, and we live in a global world. So we can see there is also another comment from Emily. Emily said she tried the worm in Peru, and it's called zuri. I don't know. Maybe Emily, you can talk more about this food that you tried, and maybe you can correlate with the study of Tatiana.
Hello. No, it was just a comment because I tried it in the Amazon in Peru, where is it actually quite expensive, and it's considered as kind of a luxury. It's not that everyone eats it, but it's relatively expensive and it's very tasty. It tastes like nuts, and it's not spongy, I have to say. I was very afraid that it will be spongy. So that was just a little comment about the taste that it can have. So I think there is great future for this kind of food.
Yes, thank you. Well, it is for Bengono. It's great that you have also there. Rhynchophorus is also there in Africa, another species, and it should be globalized. We hope with these studies, the compendium of these studies will help all over the world, because then you have in Africa and Asia also the Rhynchophorus. So it should be great to compare that. And Emily, it's great. It tastes like you said nuts, but it's like a bacon. It depends. It also depends, the flavor depends where the palm it breeds. So that's fantastic, because then you can see the difference between them. Now we are gonna see the biochemistry, how it changes. And as I said, how we can diminish the threat in the population of palms, of the native ones that are in danger. So we have these two objectives here.
That's great. And is it expensive in Ecuador? Because Emily said in Peru it's kind of expensive.
You can have 4 for $1, 4 or 5 for $1, like these meat sticks.
And is it expensive for Peru? Because I don't know what is the minimum wage or the median salary in Peru, so I don't know if it's is it an expensive if it's expensive for people living in Peru or not? In Ecuador.
Well, in Peru, it's the same price as what Tatiana said. I remember it was 1 sol, so it's almost the same. But for the same amount of having 1 worm, you can have 5 little breads. So yes, it's quite expensive. For 1 worm, you can have 5 little breads.
Okay.
In Peru. So I don't know in Ecuador. Yes, what can you get for $1?
Wait a second. 25 cents per each one if you buy it raw. 25 cents of dollar.
Okay. Okay.
But most of the people in the communities that I have been, they don't sell it. They just do it for self-consumption.
Okay. Okay. Maybe if we don't have other question, we can talk about it during the workshop, which will happen right after the next session.